This is Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, joined by Lansing Lugnuts pitcher Brent Powers. Brent, you pitched here for Burlington. What are some of your fondest memories of being a Bee?
Oh, man. We've been through, games that almost got snowed out and games that broke 100. So, it's tough to say. When I was here a couple years ago, we had a really good staff. And I think we ran off. It was like a shutout a week. So we were shutout would earn us a pitcher's BP. So one time I was able to sneak one out down the line, the short line down there. That's one of my fonder memories. I'm a little bit proud of that.
Now, this ballpark is known as being more of a hitter's ballpark than a pitcher's park. How is it for you?
I've given up a couple homers here. Definitely, I'll admit that. That scoreboard's got one of my dents in it. But you still pitch your game, and if a guy's trying to get one and he gets the right pitch, it's going to happen. But you always try to hit your spots, and hopefully you come out on the better end of it.
Speaking with Brent Powers, how long have you been a full-time pitcher?
Full-time, yeah, since college. I played a little bit of outfield in high school, but once I got to college, everyone in the outfield was a little bit faster than me and hit a little bit better than me, so I knew pitching was the way I wanted to go.
Something I read about you. When you were a kid, you apparently read everything you could find on Babe Ruth. Is that true? Yeah. Growing up, that was definitely my guy. That was my favorite player. I was I love number 3. Let's see. Yeah, I read at least. We had a public library we'd always go to, and there was a little section of baseball, and they had their section of Babe Ruth. And every time we'd go, I'd check to see if there was a new book, because I'd already read through the rest of them. But Sandlot was my favorite movie, so it just went right in line with loving Babe Ruth. Was there a year where you suddenly took off in your baseball playing ability, or did it always come easily for you?
No, it definitely hasn't come easy. I've had my ups and downs in college and in pro ball. High school is a lot of fun. You're just playing with your friends, and I was lucky enough to have a pretty decent high school career on my later junior and senior year. But college and pro ball, I've always kind of been a little bit of the underdog. Struggled with this or that, and kind of never been seen as just the go-to ace. So I've always kind of felt like I kind of have to work a little bit harder than others, and honestly, I just take it one day at a time. I always feel like even regardless of how my stats are, I'm always going to get better every day in something.
Was there a coach who made a very big impact upon you?
There's been a couple. Vince has been, just since I've been here, has been great. We've gotten along, and we're really learning each other, and we're making a lot of good progress just in the less than a month I've been here. I had a couple coaches with the A's that were great to me. My hometown pitching coach growing up in my high school years, Mike Bassick, he was great. His son actually is the one that gave up the home run to Barry Bonds. But which they all joke about. But he was great. He pretty much propelled me into college, and then and then obviously through college I was able to get a pro career. But those guys for sure.
So after college, right when you were about to start your pro career, how did it come about that you signed with the Athletics?
It was kind of crazy, honestly. I got a couple, talked to a couple people. The A's actually just called me about a week before the draft. He'd seen me pitch once and filled out some basic medical stuff, and I didn't think much of it. And I was actually on the road driving home, and I got a text first from my buddy. He said, "Congratulations, you just went 2 picks before another one of our friends." And I hadn't thought about it because I didn't think I'd get picked till I got picked earlier than I thought I was, a senior. And soon enough, I get a call and it says Oakland A's, and they had just drafted me, and I couldn't believe it. So, it's a dream come true.
What was your first experience like in professional baseball?
Oh man, well, my first outing in the New York Penn League. It was the opening night. We were on the road. He told me I'd throw an inning. I'm thinking, man, first, I thought I'd at least sit a game. He says you got the 8th. I go in to throw an inning. I forget who I was facing. I'm like, all right, first pitch, we're going to get a fastball in there, and he hits a double down the line, and I thought it was a pretty good pitch, and I'm thinking, all right, this is pro ball. So it was kind of right away, I was like, this is a new level for me.
We get to see you so much using your curveball and using it effectively. How have you changed and grown as a pitcher with your stuff?
Oh man, I think at earlier in my career, when I don't really have that good fastball command, I would have just kind of kept struggling through it and trying to find it, and maybe it never comes, and that's when you end up having, a shorter outing and you kind of put your team in a hole. Curveball is something that I've kind of always had, and sometimes I can get away from it just trying to figure the fastball out. But with Reeves being behind the plate, we talked about it, and he says, hey man, if your fastball's not there, we'll figure something else out. You get that curveball over, we can do fastball later, and so I've been able to go to that, and it's worked for me lately.
Speaking with Lansing Lugnuts pitcher Brent Powers, what's that like? Fastball is such a primary pitch for a pitcher, and that you come into a game and you understand, uh-oh, I don't have it today.
Yeah, it is. And I definitely want it to be my primary pitch, and I do still consider it my primary pitch. But sometimes, it could be any pitch, but some days it's just not there, and some days I haven't had a curveball or a changeup or whatever it is. So that's when you go, and I call it you go into survival mode, and you just compete. You say, I'm not going to throw every pitch where I want it, but I'm going to beat this guy with whatever I have, and sometimes it's 3 curveballs, and or whatever the case is.
So far in your career, what's the most important game you've ever pitched in?
Wow. The only playoff game that I've played in was my first year in the New York Penn League with the Vermont Lake Monsters. I got to start Game 2 of the playoffs there, which was pretty cool. We had won the first game, and I think I was able to get us into the 6th, and I think it was something like a 2-2 game. And I didn't think I did real well because I wanted to come out with the lead, obviously, and give my team a chance. But looking back, we were in it till maybe the 8th or 9th that game and ended up losing it late. But that was a pretty cool experience. To be able to pitch and pitch, deep into a playoff game was great.
We've seen you as a reliever, we've seen you as a starter over the course of your career. What does each of those roles ask of you differently?
They're a little bit different. Obviously, the same mentality as getting the guy out as quick as you can. But, as a reliever, it depends. With me being a lefty, sometimes it's, hey, just get these 2 lefties out. Sometimes they need me to go, extended like we do with Durham and some other guys, who can come in and give us 3 and 4 great innings. So sometimes you just need to come in and shut the door right now. As a starter, you're kind of the guy that you need to eat up innings and you kind of get yourself out of jams as opposed to getting someone else out of a jam, which I kind of like being able to fight through. I'll get myself in a jam, but I like being able to persevere and get at myself out of my own mess.
Do you have a role that you're the most comfortable in?
I really do like starting. Obviously, whatever helps the team win or what helps me advance my career is what I'll do. But I really enjoy starting, having a game plan, knowing the lineup and going out there and just competing.
On a day that you are scheduled to start, what's your routine?
I try to obviously get some good rest and eat a couple good meals, kind of just hang around, not do anything too crazy before I get to the field. But usually once I get to the field, it's just I try to go, warm my entire body up and always listen to a little bit of music to kind of get myself ready. And then honestly, just make sure that my mindset's right. I think that's a big part. Sometimes you can get distracted and allow different thoughts to creep in. But honestly, I just kind of want to make sure that I'm focused on the ability that I have is good enough to win that day, and not try to be anything more, and just do what I do.
Do you have a plan that you're going to take to the mound the next time you take the hill? Is there something you've said, this is the next thing for me to work on?
Yeah, I'm going against these guys on Monday, so I'll get 2 days to see them, which will be great, and I'll kind of see how they handle different aspects. And but honestly, it's kind of it changes slightly, but it's always kind of the same goal. We're going to attack them with the fastball. I know I have my breaking ball, and keep them off the fastball with my changeup, and I'm gonna be a 3-pitch guy in the zone and compete and give my team a chance.
Finally, with Brent Powers, beyond baseball, what else are you talented in?
Oh man, well, I played a little bit of golf this morning with my old host son Charlie Johns, but he's on the golf team here. I think he's 16, and he spanked me. So I wanted to say I'm a little bit talented in golf, but he humbled me a little bit today. But yeah, I like to golf and fish, just kind of be outdoors. Anything like that, I feel like I know my way around a little bit.
Brent Powers with the Lansing Lugnuts. Brent, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
I'm Jesse Goldberg-Strassler, and you're listening to Lugnuts Baseball on Big Country 92.1.